Hello from EABH. I bet you and your family are missing school, hugging your friends, learning from our teachers, moving from one classroom to another, traveling, and missing the routine of normalcy. I also miss greeting our families good morning every morning at the footsteps of EABH. When we received the mandate for school closure, our last face-to-face faculty meeting was held on Tuesday, March 17. During that meeting, we informed teachers to be prepared to implement distance learning as we were not sure when we would return to campus. We asked them to gather their device, school materials, and even personal belongings. This was late in the afternoon. All the students had gone home for the day already. We had many questions running through our minds. We were pressed for time. We had questions unanswered, and reality had kicked in. We had sent our students home and did not get a chance to hug them and say goodbye until next time. Tears rolled down the faces of our teachers. On March 23rd, we kicked off EABH Online, our distance learning program. It began on day one with a fully outlined schedule and established routine. Learning continued without skipping a beat. Our transition was smooth and steady, and just like that, our lives changed and we all took on new roles. EABH teachers flipped their classrooms and became remote facilitators. EABH students became virtual learners. Our IT team stepped up their game and took on a new role of leadership. And our parents became teacher assistants. None of us signed up to do this, but when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. This is the moral of the story at EABH. Everyone around the world has been forced to reflect on what is going on around the globe, whether it's the coronavirus, Ebola, or H1N1, or even an economic crisis. It can easily be agreed that these are adversities, and currently the entire planet is facing an adversity together. Believe it or not, our school's curriculum covers the concept of adversity. As early as the third grade, our students delve into the topic of how people worldwide face adversity. They research causation by identifying the sources of adversity. They investigate the concept of change by studying the effects of adversity on individuals and communities, and even reflect on the notion of responsibility, thinking about prevention and problem solving. Our curriculum covers complete content like any other good school in Minas Gerais. The Ministry of Education determines what our students need to know to successfully graduate from school. But at EABH, we go beyond this. We deliver not only content, but use context as a way to contextualize the skills we are developing in our students. This is the beauty of our international curriculum and the mission of EABH, empowering compassionate agents for a better future. We are empowering our students with the necessary skills so that they can become independent and caring citizens, constructing a future that is environmentally better and ethically sound. The international curriculum enables EABH students to analyze, think critically, and creatively solve problems. They ask questions, research for information, and demonstrate their understanding by communicating effectively. They must be literate in all levels, with information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, and economic and financial literacies. These skills help our students transcend all borders and encourage leadership, teamwork, and collaboration with people from all walks of life. Our students are taught to learn and work together in physical workspaces as well as virtual workspaces. This is how our technology integration approach has prepared us for distance learning. What many parents don't realize is that there is a huge difference between technology use and technology integration. Technology use is simply learning how to use a tech tool as an end goal. Technology integration is when you use a tech tool to learn other things, a way to leverage our learning even further. At EABH, we incorporate technology into the fabric of teaching and learning. It is this very marriage between our international curriculum and modern methodology that has allowed us to smoothly transition our learning environment from a brick and mortar school to a virtual learning space. We are very proud to be able to bring EABH learning to your home. And those parents of early childhood children, we know that this is not your current reality because these skills are introduced age appropriately and developed over time during a student's career at EABH. We understand that your experience is different at home and that your children are not as independent and self-paced as our older students. So we take this opportunity to thank you for being awesome, caring, and patient parents with your precious little ones who are still so tender and require your personal attention and assistance. Furthermore, I would like to remind you that EABH students are at an advantage with the way our school year is set up. Because we follow a Northern Hemisphere calendar, our students have already completed 80% of the school year. If we consider what the Ministry of Education has decreed, along with the validation of distance learning, we have already fulfilled and exceeded the 800 school hours. We have fulfilled 778 hours with face-to-face teaching and have completed a total of 1,009 hours by today, May 6. EABH is already ahead of the curve. I would like to take this moment to give a huge round of applause to the EABH heroes, our teachers. The demands of a teacher are already high in a normal daily schedule. They work from 7:45 to 3 p.m. with not just one child, but a classroom full of children. They multitask teaching, grading, planning, behavior, emotions, and after-school meetings, and the list goes on and on. But with the virtual platform, the work has doubled, if not tripled. Teaching through an online platform is more than meets the eye. Planning has to incorporate the delivery of lessons that are suitable for online learning, which demands more creativity and customized resources for each lesson to ensure remote engagement. Once the planning is completed, they need to upload the videos, and that requires more time. Teachers deliver synchronous and asynchronous lessons and then assess each child's work at the completion of each assignment one by one individually. Lessons are also adjusted as we advance with online learning based on teachers' meetings with the principals and coordinators and feedback from parents. And on top of all that, they have their personal lives to worry about. So teachers, thank you for all that you do. We could not do this without you. EABH has been conducting weekly surveys with our parents because we're interested in your opinion. We are curious to know how you feel about our distance learning based on what you observe when talking and working with your children at home. Your voice matters, and it helps us adjust our practice based on your feedback. Our goal is to ensure a successful learning experience that also meets your satisfaction. We have also been sharing the survey results with transparency and timeliness. At the end of every week, you have been receiving response videos from our principals who not only acknowledge your feedback, but also share with you how we plan to adjust our practice based on your recommendations. We appreciate your partnership and how you have transformed your homes to classrooms and how you have probably entered into the field of education more than you ever imagined. We can only do our best under this current circumstance. Parents, teachers, and students, we're all working outside of our comfort zones. Many parents are worried about their children getting behind in academic subjects, and this is a reasonable concern. However, right now, we face an even more significant issue. This crisis is quietly redefining normalcy as we know it. It has disrupted all aspects of our lives and threatened to disrupt our current model of life. It also forces us to reflect and redirect our energy. We must assess our priorities to make small and big decisions that will impact the rest of our lives. The top priority right now is not subject matter content. Our students are doing just fine with our distance learning, and any unfilled gaps will be met when we return to face-to-face classes. Our priority right now should be digging deeper into the meaning of life, understanding our purpose, and redefining our values. While we stay at home to help flatten the curve, we are on a steep learning curve. As we advance through this crisis and follow the rigor of home confinement, it is natural we feel sad and frustrated. We miss the normalcy of life and the comfort it provides. However, crisis brings opportunities for growth and change. If you have ever read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, you'll recall one of his many strategies. In the midst of chaos, there's also opportunity. How will you leverage chaos to get ahead? This is an opportunity for innovation. If we rethink and challenge our current models of the world, it awakens us to new possibilities. Our children are learning about our attitudes toward hardship and the skills we need when we face adversity. Our outlook in life will influence them more than any textbook can teach them. You are in charge of the curricular content that will be imprinted in their minds and hearts. This is an excellent opportunity to form their characters. One form of character that our school values is perseverance. Perseverance is one of our school values. We believe that persisting in and learning from challenging situations help individuals develop tenacity and resilience. I encourage us to continue to persevere. I mentioned earlier that while we stay at home to help flatten the curve, we are all on a learning curve. The climb up the learning curve is not easy. It requires perseverance to get to the top. The best view comes after the hardest climb. Once we reach the top, the culminating point, we gain a new perspective. And what we have learned in life is that what goes up must come down. The other side of the curve is what we are working towards. When the pandemic dies off and when we return to our normal lives, it will be a sign that we have successfully endured the darkness and followed the light at the end of the tunnel. We will see the fortune of life and realize that we are lucky to be alive. And that is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. The rainbow is a complete curve, an arc. It's bridging us from one phase of life to the next, from one learning point to the next. I look forward to seeing all of you on the other side of the curve. Together, we'll overcome adversity, create rainbows, and learn from life's greatest lessons. Let's turn lemons into lemonade and chaos into opportunities and stay ahead of the learning curve with EABH Online. Learning opportunities are all around us. There is no greater gift for our children than our love and a solid education. Thank you for your commitment to EABH. I look forward to seeing you here real soon.